This content creator is no stranger to controversy. She's had quite a few videos go viral, one in particular where she breaks down why she does not accept coffee dates, another one where she talks about how she leverages her parents to help set proper boundaries for dating. And she also goes into detail about her Nigerian background and how she oftentimes uses her own cultural values to help her navigate the dating and mating market. She is happy to call herself a traditional woman and very much believes in leaning into feminine energy and allowing men to be the provider men that they're supposed to be.
So I live at home with my parents. I have traditional immigrant parents. So the way that it works is I will not be leaving my parents' home until I get married and until my husband buys me my own house.
I obviously see nothing wrong with a woman upholding whatever standards or cultural values she upholds. But I think it's also increasingly important in this age of social media when people are going online, giving dating advice and sharing their experience. It's also really important to make sure that our ideas about dating, about relationships, are actually shaped by reality and shaped by truth and not just shaped by social media or negative propaganda. Because if it is, unfortunately, we can start to really believe misconceptions about people and about entire groups of people. And this is what I think happens right here.
So I don't date American Black men. I have never dated an American Black man, and my reasons are quite simple. So a few days ago, I made a video about coffee dates, and I basically talked about how I would never accept a coffee date as a first date. I think it's low effort and it's just not my thing. Surprisingly enough, and I was genuinely surprised, 98% of the commenters and the people that were upset were American Black men. So shocked because I didn't think that video would land on their For You page, but it did. And hundreds of them, hundreds, were crying on my shoulder over the fact that I would not drink bean juice on a first date with a man or with anyone. They were in my comments calling me all types of names, saying that I'm a gold digger and saying that I'm this and that. And then unprovoked, they started attacking me for my looks. By the way, I was so nice in that video. I did not insult anyone in that video, but they were insulting me. They were coming at me for my skin color, saying that I'm too dark and that I shouldn't have any standards. They were coming at me for my Afrocentric features. They were coming at me because I have an Afrocentric hairstyle in. Black American men honestly have this habit of attacking Black women for the way that they look, especially if you are a darker skinned woman or you have more Afrocentric features, they will attack you. So the fact that they came at me for my looks unprovoked is not surprising to me at all. So reading the comments and watching the stitches, it brought up a discussion between me and my parents about why I don't date American Black men. American Black men generally do not value courtship, traditionalism, or even marriage. And I'm not saying that all American Black men are like this, but a large majority are. They will berate you, break you down, and take advantage of you. I don't know why, but the sight of seeing a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman, having standards really does bother them. Maybe it's because in their mind, nobody ever talks about this, but they believe Black women, dark-skinned Black women deserve crumbs. Colorism is real, and they think that we deserve crumbs and that we shouldn't have any standards. I mean, I was getting so many messages and comments saying, "You're dark-skinned, why do you have all these standards?" The only reason why that video got them really upset was because it basically told them to do better. And they do not take well at all to being told to do better, as you can clearly see, and it's because they are not required to. They are used to giving women nothing, giving women crumbs, but then receiving the world back. So when they were watching my video, they were so upset. They were like, "Oh, no. You want me to take you on a proper date? A proper date when all I'm used to is inviting women back to my house, or inviting women on a nature walk as a first date, or inviting women to my car to link and smoke? You want me to actually put in effort? No, I'm not used to that at all." They're literally in my comments saying, "What makes you think you deserve a meal? You need to prove yourself." And when American Black men say that you need to prove yourself, that just basically means you need to go through hell and back with him. They don't want to put in the effort because they're lazy, they are entitled, and they are cheap. And don't get me wrong, it's not all American Black men that are like this. It's just the large majority, and that is a problem because the majority of Black American women prefer Black American men, but there are not enough good Black American men to go around.
Obviously, this video is very damning. And if the whole goal for her was to get some virality, she did a great job. We already know that there is a market for basically bashing men, and especially Black men. There has always been a market for that, and there still is today. So Black women usually get a lot of popularity and a ton of virality whenever they go online and say horrible things about Black men. Now, I did want to address a few things that she said, because I do believe a lot of the points are just flat out wrong, or at best, they are based upon misinformation. Now, her first point, how do you know all these things about a group of men that you never dated? Like, if you started the video by saying, I've never dated a Black American man, then why? And then she goes down to how they treat you when dating. She goes down to how they won't propose to you and how they don't like you and they don't this and that. How would you know this if you never dated one? How do you have all these details about how they act in dating and where they take you in dating and what they do? Where did you get this information? If you just got it from social media, that's the problem. If you just went on a Diaspora page and then continued to listen to what they said, listen to all the soft stories, that's also the problem. Because unless you can corroborate this information with your own real life experience and also look at different dating trends and data and like there's actual verifiable information to prove your point, at best it's just your own anecdotal experience. And in her case, it's not even her anecdotal experience because she's never dated them. So listening to this, I'm just like, I don't even really know if she's being serious. Because how can a person go and have all this information about a group of men they never dated? Like, this is not a serious conversation. But, really my bigger point, there is a market for Black women going online and talking horrible about Black men. Another thing there's a market for is for Black people from different parts of the diaspora fighting and breeding. I truly believe, now I don't know if this is verified, but I truly believe that there is like incentive right now to divide Black people globally. This is why, you go in certain spaces and you see Black Americans who don't rock with Nigerians, who don't rock with Haitians, who don't rock with Caribbeans for no other reason than they're from a different nation. My personal opinion is that there's always been incentive, and there will continue to be incentive to try to keep Black folks divided. Because if Black people actually figured out how to work together, nationally and internationally, do you know how much of a threat that would be? Because whether or not people like it, resources that power the modern world are still in Africa today. This is why you have certain nations that are coming together and saying, look, we're tired of being exploited. We don't need to be babysat anymore. We're going to use our resources, our land, our stuff for our African people. You're starting to have like African nations really, really, really push back. But my bigger point is there is absolutely incentive for dissension between Black men and Black women to be continued, and then dissension between Black people across the world to be continued. This is why I think a Nigerian woman can go on and completely defecate on Black men, Black American men, who she's never dated, and this go viral. Keep Black folks divided, because if you can divide them, then you can keep them from fully progressing and moving forward and creating a reality and a system and structure that's ultimately going to empower them. That's not to say that there aren't legitimate concerns that happen within Black America. There are legitimate concerns that happen among Nigerians. Right? That's not to downplay that. When I see content like this, I think it really boils down to a few things. Either the person is just pandering and looking for virality, or if the person does believe this, they are highly misguided and perhaps have just watched too much Diaspora content and need to go out, touch grass, and have real experiences with the people that they supposedly know that they've never dated. And also, I think content like this feeds into an agenda to keep Black men and women divided and to also keep Black people divided. But let it be clear, outside of social media, there are Black people out here who are still living life, okay, getting along and loving each other. Across the diaspora, in Black America, we can all point to folks who don't know how to get along, but there are also folks out there who are actually doing quite well. It just goes down to what do you choose to focus on and who are you giving your attention to? Anyways, those are my thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later.